Hang on, motherfuckers. Blood Feast. Let's get those motherfuckers on the fucking air, man.
What's up, brother?
Dude, what the fuck is going on, man?
Nothing, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Sitting here, kicking back some Lagunitas and fucking blasting some fucking metal, man.
That's the way to do it on Cinco de Mayo, my friend.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right, so Chris, fucking...
Yes.
For everybody out there that doesn't know, this is Chris from Blood Feast. What the fuck is going on in the world of Blood Feast?
Dude, it's been, since the album's been released, it's been fucking amazingly crazy. You know, we have all these shows coming up, and we're traveling to Germany for the third time this year for Headbangers Open Air, and, you know, there's some more festival talks for next year, so there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the Blood Feast camp. A lot of, you know, people on the album, and our friend from Speed Clothes just put out a new bathing suit, so it's been a busy few months, that's for sure. Very cool.
Bathing suit. You guys got bathing suits too?
We do, man. We're kind of in cahoots with a young lady named Tanza who runs a company called Speed Clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And she makes all this killer stuff for women, like leggings, and we were actually one of the first bathing suits that she'd ever done, and she just follows through her leggings, and she just made a new Blood Feast bikini, so she's getting her stuff out there, man. It's Speed Clothes. She's pretty awesome.
So do the bathing suits say Blood Feast on them?
Oh yeah, man, they absolutely do. Her first original bathing suit was the cover of Kill for Pleasure, and then the bikinis it's also the face for blood for Kill for Pleasure is on the top, and on the bikini bottoms it's the Blood Feast with the upside down cross right in the vagina area, which is fucking badass.
That's fucking badass, dude. I might have to get one of those for my wife, man.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Where can you go to find out about that shit?
Speed Clothes, SPEED Clothes, all over Facebook. If you go to the Blood Feast Legions Worldwide Facebook, we're constantly reposting a lot of her stuff, and it's Hells Headbangers. You can get her stuff on there. She sells it through the label. So yeah, just go to Facebook and Speed Clothes and just follow all the links.
Very cool.
And her stuff's good, man. It's not expensive. It's very cool. It's great for the ladies. Kind of, you want to metal up your chick. Absolutely. And what better way to put Blood Feast on it, you know?
Hell yeah, man. Perfect. I'll find that shit and I'll tag some shit, man. Yeah,
man. Absolutely. That'd be awesome.
So how long have you guys been doing this, and exactly how did Blood Feast get started?
That's more, I can give you a little bit. That's kind of a question for Adam. Blood Feast goes all the way back to Christ 85. The original lineup, they were, even before that, they were known as Bloodlust, and they changed the name to Blood Feast. And then they kind of went through, I think it was like 85 to 91, and then they did a reunion in 99, and then myself and Tom, my bass player, we joined in 2010. And then him and I have been, with Blood Feast ever since. And then Joe and CJ joined, I think, the summer of 2014.
Nice.
Yeah.
As far as your musical influences, what would you say, like, what kind of bands and shit, what got you started in metal and where you're at today?
My influences, I'm a product of the 80s, so I come from a hair metal background.
Yeah.
But really, like I kind of got into thrash through Metallica and Anthrax and Venom, and I really just, I got Kill Them All for Christmas, and I remember just putting on Hit the Lights, and I just remember that opening riff, man, and it just changed my life forever. And of course, if you listen to thrash metal, then you go to death metal, and it opens up your black metal, and you kind of go on and on and on, but really kind of thrash metal is that for me, like that hair metal, like that's kind of what my life force of my blood is that kind of music. And it just kind of evolves, as the music scene does. You go from one genre and it just leads you into other things just by experimenting or you know, if you find out like one of your favorite bands listens to, you know, another said band, maybe from a different genre, and that opens you up to different things. So, but for me, like listening to the first Metallica record kind of set the bar for me.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool that you say that too, because I mean, every week when I interview a band on here, I always ask them that, and I got to tell you, about 99% of the time, the answer is almost the same for all of us, man. Like, I remember being a kid too and watching, you know, like fucking MTV and shit like that, because that was one of the only ways we could fucking find shit back then.
Sure.
And they're playing Poison and Motley Crue and all that stuff, you know, and when that was all we had, that was cool too. But when Metallica came on, all of a sudden it was black and white, they're pissed off, they're fucking headbanging, it was like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And it just changed everything, man.
Yeah, man, you know, Connector, I think, even for me, like, growing up in the 80s, and again, like, I'm a huge hair metal guy, like, I love all that shit, but eventually it gets to the point where you're like, you know, you kind of need something more than just partying and sex, and you need something. You need for that teen angst or getting in your early 20s. You know, when you're angry, you needed that outlet. And that's just, for me, like you had said, like, that's just where heavy metal really, you know, the heavy metal kind of came in, and that's when it changes your life. And you're like, oh, like, this is what I've been looking for. This is what I've been missing. And then when Exodus came out, well, that just changed my life completely. Because, I mean, Exodus is one of my favorite thrash metal bands. So that just, when Exodus came out, it was just like, whew. That was the tips for me, for thrash metal.
Yeah, when you're like 12 or 13 and shit like that, man, you know, the partying and the groupies and all that stuff, it looks great on TV and everything, but you can't really relate to it, you know, like, you don't know what that's really like yet. But then a band like Metallica, Slayer, shit like that, where it's fucking angry and just fucking, you know, I think that's what happened with me, especially, was just, you know, I could relate to that shit. I was like, this is how I feel, man.
No, absolutely, but I completely agree. And like you said, it definitely falls in line with how other metalheads kind of, you know, evolved as they got older. At least guys our age, you know, they kind of evolved and got older, and then ended up in the, you know, like I said, the death metal, the black metal, the grindcore, whatever, you know, whatever it is at this point.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, the band name Blood Feast, how did you guys come up with that?
You know, like I said, it was originally Bloodlust, and then they had to change the name. I think when they got signed, they had to change it because I believe there was another Bloodlust out there, and they just changed it to Blood Feast. And, you know, it's funny, I think a lot of people assume that the name came from the movie Blood Feast, and I don't believe it did. Like, I think it was just kind of they had to come up with something because, you know, they got signed and they had to change the name for the demo, and they came up with Blood Feast. And I'm not really sure the origin of where that came from. Like I said, that's something that Adam would have to answer because he was there at that time. But from my recollection from the conversations that we had, I don't really think it was anything. They needed a name, and they just went with Blood Feast because they already started their career as Bloodlust. So, unfortunately, when you have to change your name, you got to try to at least keep it close to something because, you know, people lose sight of, you know, they go, oh, who's Blood Feast? And they may have been a fan of Bloodlust, but, you know, you just think there's no more Bloodlust, so try to keep it close, you know?
Hell yeah. Now, another question I gotta ask you, man, I love fucking Hells Headbangers Records, man. They're fucking badass. How did you guys get hooked up with them?
You know, man, they came to us, and you know, we had been talking about, God, when I joined in 2010, like, Adam, Tom, and I had been talking about, you know, writing new Blood Feast music forever. And then when we got Joe and CJ, it just kind of came a reality. And then when we really started to nail down some new songs and we're playing them live, and they kind of came to us. They heard that we were, you know, we were recording, like, and we were starting to get really, really active. And they were like, listen, like, if you guys are going to put something out, we really want to be a part of it. And those guys are fans, and that's a really cool part of it. You know, they're not, as you know, because you said how awesome they are, which they are awesome. And it was awesome for me because outside of Blood Feast, like, I'm a huge fan of the label. Like, I buy merch from them all the time, and I just, their hoodies I love. I absolutely love their hoodies. And so I was already a big fan of Hells Headbangers. So when they came to us, they said, listen, you know, we're fans. we want to do this. Like, we want to be involved. And they had already been previously selling merchandise for us, just a little distribution, helping us out, getting the word out. And then they wanted full in, and we were like, oh my God, like, there's no, like, you can't pay some Hells Headbangers. Like, you can't. And they've been, I can't even express to you how amazing these guys have been and the work that they have done, and it's just been a really, really pleasant experience. Considering, you hear all these horror stories from other labels, and now the family of Hells Headbangers has been nothing but awesome to us. And if you see the CD or you see the album or the vinyl or the cassette, even the merchandise, man, these guys are top notch. And what they do, they fucking do it well.
They definitely are, man, and they've grown a lot, like, recently, man, like, big time. I remember back when MySpace was fucking huge, I used to find a lot of bands on there, and Acid Witch was one of the first bands that I really remember, and I checked them out, and I was like, I gotta find this, man, and when I started researching them, I found that they were on Hells Headbangers Records, and I went to that website, and I was just blown away. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like its own little world of all this different shit, and I ordered some records from them. I got the Acid Witch Stoned, and it came with fucking patches, stickers, magnets, fucking like all kinds of shit, dude. I was like, what the fuck, man? The packaging is top notch, dude. The vinyl is fucking great, and they do it up, man.
No, man, they do, and we did the Hells Headbangers last year, 2 years ago. I don't remember the date now. And that was kind of, we were just about to sign to them. They invited us to the Hells Headbangers, and they were so good to us. And it's, it was really cool to see the label have this big show and see how they treat their bands. And that was big for me to see how awesome they were and as welcoming and very kind, and considering, they gave every band everything on that stage. It wasn't one of those things where they're like, the first couple bands, they get the kind of green and red lights, and then the headliners get all numb, and they were like, every band got everything, and that's big for me, because, I don't want to be treated any different, but it's also when everybody's treated the same.
That's cool, man. Yeah, it looks like a cool time, too, man. One of these days, I'm definitely going to have to make it out there and check that out.
Oh, brother, you have to, because it's a blast, man. It was so much fun. So much fun.
Hell yeah. As far as the album artwork, man, the artwork on this record, dude, is bad fucking ass, man. How'd you guys come up with that? The artist who did just the cover, his name is Drew Elliott. He's from where I am, where I'm from, is Philadelphia, and he is the one who originally did the first record, Kill for Pleasure, and the Faith State EP. So when we talked about doing, another record, there was just no way we couldn't have Drew Elliott do it. Like, there was just no way. So we, Adam sent Drew a message because they knew each other from back in the day, and they said, listen, like, the album's called Future State of Wicked. We want your artwork. We kind of want to expand on, just everything, everything the Blood Feast is about. We don't want to kind of go too far. We don't want to be too different, but we want to be kind of updated. And he just kind of drew this, what has made the cover, and we were like, this is perfect. Like, this is exactly what we're looking for. And then that's all Drew Elliott, man. It's all his ideas, his thinking, his artistry. He's amazing at what he does. And he kept the Blood Feast feel, so to the old school Blood Feast fans that see it, it's easily recognizable. Like, they go, oh yeah, like, this is just the new Blood Feast, but it's the same, logo, or kind of an update logo, but it's the same. Like, you kind of see it, and you can put all three records together, and they all look like they should have been, packaged together, or, the Future State of Wicked looks like it should have been out back in the 80s when Kill for Pleasure and Faith State came out. Yeah, that's cool, man. I like it when bands do that shit too, like fucking, I don't know, like Iron Maiden and shit like that, like it. You look at you look at the record and you immediately know who that fucking is,
Absolutely, man. I mean, even down to the logo, you recognize the logo, and then obviously, as you know, for bands, like, a logo is an important thing. So, yeah, I totally agree. I do too. You kind of see the you know, how a band grows, but doesn't really kind of lose their roots. And that was really important, especially to Adam. You know, he wanted it to be, he wanted to have that same Blood Feast feel, but didn't want to go, you know, wanted to be updated, but didn't want to be too updated. So, you know, Drew walked that fine line and he nailed it perfectly.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I know, and I know it's silly, but fans do get pissed off about shit like that, like changing the fucking logos and stuff. I mean, I remember when I was young, when Metallica changed their fucking logo, dude, that was like, I don't know, that fucking bothered me for some reason, man. It was worse than the haircuts and everything else. It was like the fucking logo, man.
With guys like you and I, like, we grew up with Kill 'Em All, like Master of Puppets, and, you know, even Justice for All. So, but what happens is when they change, you feel like it's not your band anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, back in the day, like, Metallica was our band. You know, Anthrax was our band, Slayer was our band, and not that Slayer's really changed, but I mean, you know, Metallica, like you said, is a perfect example. They changed and evolved, and obviously it's for them because it's business, and, you know, they're trying to make money, and because it's a job for them. It's what, you know, they need to live. But for guys like you and I, an older school Metallica fan, we instantly go, oh my God, like, now they're on the Grammys, this isn't our band anymore. You know? Like, I remember when Cliff Burton passed away, I remember sitting in a high school football field, just completely devastated and blaring Master of Puppets. And what happens is when you get the Black Album and, you know, Load or Reload, and you have the makeup on and all this, your hair, it's just not your band anymore. Like, it almost makes you lose touch with those teenage years where they were so important to you. They're just someone else now. And you're right. Like, that is, and I understand bands have to evolve, but in that aspect of it, it can be sad sometimes because it's just not what you remember. So we try to, you know, Blood Feast, we try to keep, you know, the old school way of thinking, even though we're down to the recording. And Adam wrote all the songs, so, or most of them anyway. So he doesn't. It's cool because Adam doesn't really listen to anything new. He doesn't really listen. So, like, anything that he writes is Blood Feast. And that was very important to us and very important to me, especially because, you know, we would talk about it and we're putting out this record after so many years, and you want those old school Blood Feast fans to go, fuck, this is the Blood Feast that I remember. Even though Adam's the only original member, you still want people, even if it just sounds like the original Blood Feast, or the songs are constructed that way, you keep those people happy as best as you can, you know, especially now that, you know, it's so many years, and like I said, Adam's the only original member. So it's very important, you know, to us, to keep those old school fans happy. I mean, to lack of a better word.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. As far as your, like, lyrical themes and stuff like that, how would you describe that to people who don't know?
It's old school thrash, man. You know, we don't really talk about politics. You know, we don't, you know, we keep it very tongue-in-cheek, for lack of a better word. It's very, you know, it's gory. We have a song, Off With Your Head, and you know, I is about nailing Jesus to the cross. And it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very gory. It's horror. It's fantasy. For most of our songs, you know, it's thrash metal the way it should be. It's just aggressive and fast and, you know, cool and just great to listen to. And, you know, we try not to be too serious because life is just way too serious as it is. So if somebody could put on a record and hear those lyrics and hear those music, and it takes you out of your real life for 40 minutes or 45 minutes, however long the record is, then we've done our job, you know?
Fuck yeah, man. Now, as far as your live show, for people out there who have not seen you guys live, what could you tell them to expect at a live show?
You can pretty much expect the five of us just having a great time. And that I can tell you off the bat. Like, no matter what's going on behind the scenes, we are having a great time on stage. Chaos, sweat, you know, hot, fast, faster than sometimes we can even imagine. Like, sometimes we go, oh my God, was that song that fast? Like, you know what I mean? It's aggressive. That Blood Feast is aggressive. Well, we do it in a fun way, and we try to make sure everybody has a good time, and we have a good time, and you know, we hope there's a bit And we wanted for the hour that we're on stage, and we just want people to forget whatever goes on outside those club doors or venue. You know, it's just for that hour. It's about us. It's about having a good time and just flashing out and headbanging and going home with a sore neck and your ears ringing and hopefully a bloody nose if we're lucky.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Speaking of that, what is like one thing I like to ask everybody? What's one of the craziest fucking things you've seen throughout your career so far, like at a show or something like that sticks out?
Wow. Oof. I say, you know, it's funny. A lot of people, I don't know if it's a New York thing, a lot of people show up in masks. I don't understand it. Like, some people just, like, well, there's one guy that always comes to see us in New York. He's always wearing a horse mask. There's another guy that always wears, like, a big demon gladiator mask. I don't understand that, but whatever. You know, they're having a good time, and to me, that's all that matters. Craziest thing I've ever seen. Well, you know, the one thing, we were in Japan a year or two ago. We did the True Thrash Fest, and we did it with Exciter and Hobbs and this band from Italy called Game Over, which if you're a Thrash fan and you've never heard of Game Over from Italy, please check them out because they're awesome. But, you know, the really weird thing about Japan was when we had gotten there, one of the handlers that was helping us was telling us, listen, like, don't be offended if people just stand there, because people waited so long to see you that they're just going to listen or they're going to watch and they're just going to kind of soak it in. And we were like, that's cool, you know, that's whatever. And it wasn't like that at all. It was pure chaos, which was even better. But the really weird thing was, between every song, they would stop dead silent. And when you're in a foreign land and I don't speak the language and you're looking at a room of 300 people and it's a sold-out crowd and you know, and all these people just been going crazy for the 5-minute song you just played, and all of a sudden it's dead silent stop. And and I can't really say much because I don't speak the language. So I'm just like, hey, thanks for coming. Like, I don't even know what to say. And that was really weird. Because, you know, you want, usually in America or even Germany, you know, between songs, even the crowd's amped up and they're yelling and they're screaming. And in Japan, it was a whole different thing. And it was really, really bizarre. So, I mean, that would be the one thing off the top of my head was Japan and how awesome the crowd was, but between songs, they were very respectful, but very silent. That's really crazy to me.
Yeah, that reminds me, I've got an Ozzy Osbourne DVD from, I think, Live at the Budokan where he's playing there, and I noticed that, like, the crowd just sort of stands there, and they just stand there and stare, you know, they don't, no movement at all.
Yeah, and that's what we were told that it was going to happen, and, you know, like I said, thank God it didn't, but, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered either way. But they were just very respectful, and they really just love what you do, no matter what band you're in. You know, they just love it, and for them, many of them, they've never seen Bloodfeast before, so to see us, you know, was very cool for them, because it had been the first time ever. And, yeah, there is a very, you know, they see and they do things differently there. I mean, it was a great experience. Very, very interesting experience.
Yeah. It's cool. It's funny watching Ozzy doing that too, because like part of the time I'm thinking he probably already knows that, you know, that's why they're doing that. But at the same time, I'm thinking he might be forgetting every now and then because he's yelling at him, "Let's go fucking crazy!" and then the camera pans out. And they're just standing there.
It's so true, man, because, you know, when, you know, I've been doing this for so long, and, you know, you instantly between songs, you know, while the band's taking a break, getting a drink of water, you know, you're trying to keep everybody amped up, and you're going to announce the next song, or you're promoting merch, or, you know, say or whatever, and you're in this foreign land, and no matter what you say, these people are just staring at you, because they don't understand. You know what I mean? Obviously, they know that you're saying something that you're trying, as you normally would in America, trying to amp up the show or, you know, get people still going, but they're looking at you like, you could talk all day, bro, but we don't hear a fucking word you're saying. Like, we don't understand anything.
But they fucking love it, man. They love it.
They do, man. Japan was one of the most amazing experiences, and I've had the pleasure of being a lot of places with Bloodfeast and still going strong, thank heaven. But Japan was such a great experience. the fans were so unbelievable, just so kind, and just so happy that you're there. And it was a really amazing experience. And then to travel with the original Exciter, I don't know if you're familiar with how familiar you are with Exciter, and Hobbs, Angel of Death, and all of us being kind of old school. It was just a really, really great experience.
That's badass, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, about out of questions for you, brothers. What kind of plans do you guys have for the future?
I'm sorry, brother. Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
What kind of plans do you guys have for the future?
The future, man. Like I said, we're planning on the summer. We're heading back to Germany. We have some shows coming up this summer. We're busy. We're looking into some more festivals that are happening next year, which I really unfortunately can't say because I don't want to jinx anything. But some big shows coming up, and then start writing. Like Adam already has kind of 2 brand new songs in the bag, and look for another release. Now we do have some ideas about maybe putting some live stuff out there that we've done. There's like a little EP, and we've kicked that around. Maybe doing a single, or a 7-inch. We've kicked around a lot of ideas, but nothing solid. But the one thing that is solid is we're 2 brand new songs in. At least Adam is, and he's kind of teaching, showing the other guy. I haven't heard them yet, but that's the future right now. So another Blood Feast record and a lot of touring.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, man. Is there anything else you want to let the people out there know?
No, man. Just go to Blood Feast Legions Worldwide on Facebook, Instagram. We actually do have a website. It's bloodfeastlegions.com, and hit us up, man. You could go to my Facebook personality, say hello, request me, and just support local music, man. Keep metal alive, and go to shows, buy merch, and thanks for your time, bro. I really appreciate it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Before I let you go, I got to get you to make us a station tag. Cool?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Chris from Blood Feast, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
This is Chris from Blood Feast, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah, dude. Perfect. All right, man. Well, Chris, thanks a lot for taking the time. And what I'm going to do now is fucking blast some fucking Blood Feast in these motherfuckers' ear pussies and make them go deaf, man.
Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate the call. I really, really do.
No problem, dude.
And honored. Thank you very much.
Take it easy, man.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Peace out.
There you have it, folks. Blood Feast on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Crank this motherfucking shit up loud as a fuck, man. If you have windows, open them and put your speakers in them and blast them towards your fucking neighbors. Make them fucking pissed, man. I'm serious. I want to see fucking U-Haul trucks in the fucking morning, man. Crank this motherfucking shit up loud as a fuck.